What's up, guys? Fit to Flourish, and I know you guys like this yap style video, so I'm gonna get right into it. So this is a conversation that you need to have with yourself. Okay, we gotta lock in. We have to lock in and be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. So if you're not getting what you want, it's because you're not being and exemplifying the version of yourself that you need to be in order to be that highest version of yourself. So for most people, and for most men specifically too, it looks like, hey, well, I want to be the person with the car, the clothes, the girl, the house, the trades, right? A lot of people who watch my content first originally started watching for trading. I got into trading because of the mindset that it takes in order to be successful. You have to be disciplined. You have to have that accountability. You have to be someone who is always willing to be resilient. You have to be resilient because you might fall, you might lose on a trade, and then you need to come back from that. You have to come back from that. So this is a conversation that you need to be having with yourself, right? You need to be having the conversation of, what is it going to take for me to get to that next level? Am I currently stuck, or am I falling behind? Okay, so if you're not moving forward, then you're either staying in the same place, you're staying stagnant, or you're getting worse. Okay, and what I had realized coming into 2026, saying all the things like, oh yeah, new year, new me, right? And wanting to get to that next level, wanting to be the higher version of myself. I realized this, and it came in a video, and I'm going to share like what I'm doing for the rest of the year in order to get to the next level, and how I'm already doing that now. But there was a video that I had seen, and the gentleman said, do you actually want to actualize and realize your potential? Do you want to become that highest version? Or do you just like the thought of knowing like, oh, well, my highest version could be this? Do you just like having that thought of like, oh, I know what it could be? Or do you actually want to live this life, play it like a video game, level up, and become that higher version? So when I saw that video, I was like, dang, like that's really the thing that I've been struggling with this whole time, is like, oh, well, I know like I can, like I know like Elon Musk has $1 trillion now, right? He has $1 trillion, and I know like, oh, maybe that's my potential, but he's out of shape. And I think my potential is like, I'll have $1 trillion and be in shape and be good looking and have long hair and do, and like, you know, all of these things that like in a video game, that's what you do. You level up. If you're playing Grand Theft Auto, you might put like tattoos on your person. You might like get a nice wardrobe, get a cool car. Well, these are things that you shouldn't be playing a video game with. You should be doing this stuff in real life, right? So instead of focusing on, well, I know this is my potential, or playing a video game to get that satisfaction, I'm doing that in real life, okay? And it's like, hey, you need to do this in real life. I want to realize my potential. So having that conversation with myself is what brought me here, okay? What brought me to this video is like, hey, document it, right? Not only document it, but inspire others to take the same action. And build a community where it makes it easier to be accountable, and also to meet like-minded people, where it just makes it easier to wake up every day and do the things that you know you need to do to become a better version of yourself, right? So I'm gonna get right into what I'm doing. All right, so this second half of the year, H2 if you will, I'm locking in on trading. So that's one thing I'm doing, is I'm locking in on trading. I'm getting back to these YouTube videos. I know I stopped the videos for a while, got out of shape. I was fat to flourish. I was not fit to flourish anymore. I was fat to flourish. But getting back in shape, lost 17 pounds over the last 6 weeks. So I'm doing a 12-week rebuild, a 12-week mentorship program for myself, because I've been doing a mentorship for people in the group and transforming people's trading like crazy. So shameless plug, if you want to work with me and K5, or myself or K5 one-on-one, we have a mentorship that we offer. Link in our IG bio, link in the TikTok bio, link in the bio below. But just apply to the mentorship. You don't have to do the mentorship. You can just get on a one-on-one call with us. If you want to just get on a one-on-one call, that's fine. If you want to join our free trading Discord, that's fine too. Really don't care. What I do care about is helping others grow. So if you want to be part of something big, that's the quickest way to join. But we've been transforming people's lives. Like, people have bought houses. People have went from like $2,000 to $300,000 plus dollars. Just a lot of people, not just like, oh, well, one person, this one anomaly. It's literally a lot of people have been like, oh, okay, that's all it is to trade. It's not the ICT, SMC, BS. Cool. They're learning how to trade and invest. Cool. That's cool. Other people are watching what we do. Myself and K5, former former college football players, former athletes. Well, guess what? They're watching what we do. Not only are we over here trading and doing well with finance, but guess what? We're being accountable when it comes to physique, fitness, right? When it comes to representing the highest version of ourselves. But essentially, there are 4 pillars to this, okay? And I'm on a 12-week track. I'm on week 6 right now. So I'm just going to walk you exactly through what's the mindset, what are some quotes that I'm following, and who am I following, what are some things that I'm doing. So essentially, the people that I mention all the time when it comes to mindset, which helps overall with trading, with athleticism, with overall health and well-being, and the discipline that it takes, the accountability that it takes to show up for yourself every day. The people that I'm reading, I'm going to give it for the free ski, okay? Because it doesn't matter how much knowledge I give you, it's going to be up to you to take the action to become accountable and disciplined for yourself. But essentially, the first book that I would recommend and I would read and I always tell people is called The Kybalion, Kybalion, The Kybalion by the 3 Initiates. This book has the laws of the universe, okay? This is probably going to be the most gas video you've ever seen in your life, and you can do what you want with it, but this is straight gas I'm spitting right now. The Kybalion, okay, by the 3 Initiates. Any book you read on mindset or any book you read on the laws of the universe, Bible, Quran, all, like anything you read, it's literally all linked to, like, this is a short form of the laws of the universe, okay? The Kybalion. Read that book. It gives you, I think it's like 6, 7, something like that. Some like 6 or 7 laws on the universe and how it works and really what it takes to win, right? This game called life, right? So that's the first book you probably want to read. And then you can read on people like Neville Goddard, okay? Florence Scovel Shinn is the last name, SCOVEL SHINN. Florence Scovel Shinn. So her works is what Neville Goddard gets his stuff from, okay? Joseph Murphy, Ed Mylett, he's modern day. Who else is modern day? We had Dr. Joe Dispenza, modern day. Deepak Chopra, DEEPAK, and then CHOPRA. He's also a doctor, Dr. Deepak Chopra. So these people, they all talk about abundance. They talk about the mindset that it takes. They talk about visualization. Feeling is the secret. And that's a big part of what I'm doing here too, is in this mentorship, which I'm going to go through in a second, feeling is the secret. So, and I talked about this in the previous video in Vet Talk. We talked about how whatever you put your attention on is where energy goes into, okay? And where there's energy, there's matter. And where there's matter, you materialize things, okay? You materialize things. So E = mc squared. Energy is matter times light. And that formula is actually pretty crazy. I'll talk about it in another video. But essentially, energy goes where your energy flows where your attention goes. So when you're thinking like, dang, why do I keep losing trades? Or why do I keep failing at this? Or why do I keep eating bad? Why do I keep doing? And the reason that you keep on doing these things or keep failing at things is because your energy is on those. You're thinking about those things. You're thinking about those situations. As long as you put your attention on, what does it feel like to win? What is the feeling? Okay. What's the feeling that you're getting? What does that moment feel like? How does it look like? Like, as long as you're putting your attention on what you do want, you're going to continue to get what you want. And if it's hard for you to put your attention on what you want, you need to put your attention on things that give you a similar feeling. Nobody talks about this. So for instance, if you're someone who's like, oh man, $400 million would be great, right? A lot of people think about money, so I'm just making this analogy. But then that's a pretty big number for most people. For 99.99999% of people in the world, that's a really big number. $400 million, right? You're like, that's nearly impossible, okay? But I I would challenge you and I would say, hey, how would you feel if you had this? You'd be like, well, I would feel free. I would feel freedom. I would feel happy. I'd feel ecstatic. I would just feel like I could change everything, right? And then I challenge you to hold that feeling, right? But then if you're like, dang, but then you get these countering thoughts of, well, that's impossible, man. Like $400 million, that's crazy. I don't know, man, that's crazy, right? Right? It seems crazy. Most people would be like, that's crazy, like that's impossible. Then I would have to start a business, and maybe the business would, and then 10 years later, then I would have to sell it, and then when I sell it, then I have to go to this, and I have to get that. Like you create these thoughts of things that you're telling yourself, requirements that you have to go through to make that happen. When in fact, you're creating that reality. You don't need to do anything. You can just get that 400 million. But the secret to getting there quickly is like this. Instead of, and I'm saying this as I'm going through these things and learning these things. So I'm not saying like, oh, I could just get the 400 million tomorrow, which I probably can now that I know this stuff, but I'm sharing this. So essentially, what's the feeling? You think about the feelings that it's giving you. Well, it's giving me that feeling of freedom. It's giving me that feeling of hope, abundance. I just feel like I'm able to take care of people, right? So instead of trying to imagine the 400 million, because it's giving you resistance, right? The law of least resistance is that you're going to get what you're least resistant to, right? So instead of thinking about that specifically, another person who I recommend reading, Abraham Hicks, which is channeled through Esther Hicks. Abraham says, instead of just thinking about that, because you're getting a lot of resistance there, think about things that make you feel similarly and just let that feeling continue to snowball, right? So for instance, for me, and I'm going to go through this in my 12-week transformation, but for me, I wrote down those feelings. And I kind of went through this with ChatGPT too. Not only myself, I wrote down in detail all these things. And I went through with ChatGPT and created this whole system. But basically, in my meditations, in my visualizations, I remember how that feeling for me of getting like 400 million is like the same feeling as when I scored a touchdown on a kickoff return in college, right? I scored a touchdown on a kickoff return. I feel the ultimate high, the ultimate bliss. Like I'm dapping up the coaches, the players, like, yo, like I'm getting recognized for these things. So I'm just going back to those memories and those feelings. And then I think about what makes me feel like that now already. And I just let that feeling snowball and I think on those moments. And when you have that feeling, it's going to produce those effects, just like it says it will in the law of reversibility, which is another video that I have on this channel. But the law of reversibility basically says that if getting a thing can produce an emotion, then that emotion can also produce a thing. So that's the law of reversibility. So for instance, like if you're saying like, man, I won't be happy until I get that car, right? So when you get the car, you get happy. But if you first yourself go inside towards yourself and be happy, that can also produce that car. That can also produce that winning trade. Like, oh, I won't be happy until I get a winning trade. Well, be happy, and then the winning trade will come. It's the same exact thing. It's the law of reversibility. But essentially, let me just kind of go through these pillars and some of the things that I'm doing for the rest of the year in order to lock in. So just overall, here are the 4 pillars. So the 4 pillars are going to be physical, financial, mental, and spiritual. Okay. So in terms of the physical part, becoming lean. Okay. This is all the things that I'm going to be at the end of the 12 weeks, or that I am embodying right now. And by the end of the 12 weeks, it just is who I am. No questions asked. Becoming lean, energized, disciplined, attractive, and sharp. Okay. Financially, rebuilding cash flow, stabilizing finances, growing the trading account intelligently. Okay. Mentally, I'm eliminating chaos and emotional inconsistency. And then spiritually, what I'm doing is I'm reconnecting to my purpose, to peace, to gratitude, and inner certainty. So those are the 4 pillars of this whole 12-week rebuild for me. And then some of the things that I'm doing, so every weekday, basically I'm waking up, I'm doing a 2-mile run, non-negotiable. So I'm holding myself accountable through what's called non-negotiables, which is where, hey, no matter what's happening, rain, sleet, or snow, you feel good, you feel bad, you're sick, you're tired, you're doing these things. No questions asked. So waking up every day, I'm waking up early every day, doing these 2 mile runs. I'm journaling. I'm doing trading reviews. I'm getting up to track the markets. I'm checking in on my mentees, my group. I'm doing 4 TikToks daily, and you can go check my TikTok. It's been every day, just constant videos. And then right now I'm getting back to my YouTube videos. I'm not doing them daily, but I am getting a consistent outflow of these videos. Tracking calories, increasing hygiene, like for instance, making sure the hair's cut, the nails are done, like everything, like just lining up, being just clean, okay? And then just keeping everything consistent, because consistency matters more than intensity. And that's something that I failed to understand a lot, and a lot of people fail to understand is your consistency is more important than how intense it is, because sometimes you can go super hard and then you're like, oh man, I killed it, and then you're just done. You're like, I can't do that every day. It's not possible to go that hard every single day. So sometimes it's better to start off small, do things consistently, which is how I started off this 12-week program. I started off, okay, let me run like half a mile and then just walk the rest. And I was just like walking, and then every day I would show up and like, oh man, I'm feeling good. Like I'm showing up every day. And then I started to run the whole entire mile, then running the 2 miles. So just being consistent is more important than how intense you start off, because you will then build up into a point where it's who you embody and you can be that intense. And a lot of the time for most people, trying to become a better version of yourself, it's not a knowledge issue, because we all have the knowledge of how to do this. I'm giving you free game in this video, but it's a issue of emotional fatigue, a lack of structure, environmental drift, inconsistency, loss of momentum, and stress overload. Okay, so carrying this mental debt, like mentally carrying like debt, carrying like relationship influences or financial pressures, inconsistent schedules, and just self-disappointment by not keeping promises to yourself, right? So if you can get over these things, then you'll be fine. But if you stay in these things, then you are going to be creating dopamine-seeking behavior, which consists of staying up late, emotionally eating, right? Avoiding tracking, avoiding reviews, avoiding the gym, scrolling, and procrastination. So the cure isn't motivation, but it's just to put in systems, which is why I created like this 12-week system that I'm talking about right now. And I'm not saying like, oh, this is your issue, but it is your issue, most likely if you're watching this video, because it was my issue. And I realized this because you have to be aware. Awareness is the way the universe works, through awareness. Awareness is God, if you will. Okay, but basically what you want to do is you want to make sure you're doing these things consistently, creating a system like I'm doing here. And what I'm doing too is I'm meditating, okay? And I'm going to kind of cut through all the jargon here, but essentially in this program, I'm doing these things, I'm taking these consistent actions on a day-to-day basis, tracking calories, getting my workouts in, studying, documenting every single day, right? To get better and better every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better, right? And the biggest part of this is your focus, because wherever your attention goes is where energy is going to flow, wherever your attention is going. So even if you do kind of stray into like, oh man, like that was a bad trade or something, or like, oh, like I can't believe like I was with this person, or I can't believe like I used to hang out with these people, like it's okay to kind of, okay, like your attention goes there for a split second, but you need to then quickly correct it. And the phrase that I have for that goes like this, okay? The phrase for that goes like this. So that chapter taught me what I wanted, because it's what you don't want, right? Like, dang, I hung out with these people and it put me in this position, right? Or in this predicament. That's okay. That chapter taught me what I wanted. My attention belongs on the life that I'm building. So then bring your attention back to the present moment of, hey, what am I doing right now? Well, I'm getting better. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. And always think about what is one action that the future version of me would take today. Okay, that's something that's really big for me. And then, like I said, every day when I wake up, if I'm on my run, if I'm in the shower, if I'm going to sleep, I'm doing my visualization, which consists of focusing on my breath, just focusing on my breath until my mind becomes quiet, right? Feeling appreciation for the life today, for past victories, for present blessings, and then opportunities ahead. And something that Joe Dispenza says and Abraham Hicks also talks about is remembering the future. So instead of trying to like create this fancy future that is going to be you in the future, act as if it's already happened and think about it as if it was in the past. Like, oh yeah, I remember when I got that 400 million bajillion dollars, right? I remember when I went to the bank and like the lady looked at me like, oh dang, like this dude is wealthy AF. Here's your check, and you catch the check, right? Think of it as the past, right? And then the main and important thing about creating a future that you haven't seen yet, that is not normal to you, is to make it normal. And that's why it's important a lot of the time to visualize and meditate, because it then makes those experiences in your mind normal, because your mind cannot differentiate between what is real and what is fake. Okay, it can't, like if you're in your dream, a lot of us like jolt up when you're falling in your dream. You're not really falling in real life, but you'll jolt up because your mind cannot differentiate between what is real and what's fake, which is why it is important to meditate, to visualize, to keep your mind calm and to train it, okay, like a muscle. But I want to leave you with this. I want to end up by asking, what would the version of me who already lives this life do today? So just start off with that question. What would you do today if you already were living that version of yourself? So a lot of gas spit in this video, a lot of laws of the universe already given to you, a lot of people who can point you in that direction, including myself. Like I said, links in the bio if you want any more. TikTok is on here too. Our Discord is free. But yeah, hopefully this helps. And I'll take you guys on the journey. You'll see it as we grow. It's your boy, Mr. Fit to Flourish, and I'm out.